Hello everyone, I'm Tuco and welcome back to another episode of the Structure Showcase series, LOTR mod. Now today we will be taking a look at probably the biggest faction in the Lord of the Rings mod. And probably the Lord of the Rings period. The Gondorians. They have an immense amount of structures. I mean, a crazy amount. So let's get started right into it. The first structure we'll be taking a look at is the Gondorian Watchtower, or actually just Gondorian Beacon Tower is actually what it's called. And Gondorian Beacon Tower has in here Gondorian chest. I mean, look at that. It even has Gondorian chest. And also, of course, a Gondorian crafting table and the Gondorian beacon. Or banner. Gondorian banner. There we go. And also some nice little barracks for the troops guarding the beacon tower. And there is also a way up here with the ladders, but since I can fly, I'm not going to use it. And up here you'll find a soldier and, of course, a beacon, since it is a beacon tower. If you light one of them, all the beacons within a... actually, I don't know in what radius it is, but there is a radius, and when you light them, all the other ones will start lighting up. So you could, in theory, have a large line of beacons all the way from one place, from one outpost to another. You can light it, and they light all the way to that outpost or back to your home or whatever. Anyway, the next structure we have is the Gondorian Watchtower. Now, the Gondorian Watchtower also has the Gondorian Beacon Tower attached to it. So also that, but right over here with a bridge connecting it and a very nice, if I might add, very nice pillar to connect the two. I mean, it's not just like a flat thing that looks unrealistic. It actually looks like that could stand up, which I quite like. I don't like builds that just look like, wow, that's gonna fall over any second. Anyway, in here past the Gondorian gate, that's the name. Gondorian gate. And then in here you'll find, of course, a lot of soldiers, chests filled with wonderful drinks, and of course some more ale barrels, and of course Gondorian crafting tables. Now up these stairs at the very tippy top, there's also another chest there, but at the very tippy top here you can find the Gondorian captain. Now the Gondorian captain can spawn here and also in the fortress, and the Gondorian fortress or the fortress village. However, since this is the most common thing to find, or this is more common to find than the fortress or fortress village, this is most likely where you'll be getting your troops from if you're part of the Gondorian faction. From this little watchtower here. Well, actually, it's not little, it's quite big. There's also a door in the back here for you to cross across the bridge here and then light the beacon if you want to. Now the next structure we have here is probably the plainest of all the Gondorian structures, and that is the Gondorian Smithy. Now this is a very plain structure, very boxy. I don't quite like the boxy looks. However, I do quite like the wall going across the top like that. That does look very nice. Now in here, past these gates, we have the blacksmith, of course, and also his anvils, right? Your anvils, yep. And of course a large, wow, that's pretty good. And of course a large chest filled with all kinds of materials, right? Isn't that right? Metal materials and whatnot. And then over here, you can obviously find your crafting and forges. Now the Gondorians do not have a specific forge, so they will be using a lot of the alloy forges. And they'll usually not be using the normal furnaces, and more likely just be using the alloy forges. They're a lot better, a lot quicker too, because you can put 4 of them in there. Now the next structure we'll be taking a look at here is the Gondorian turret. Now these you can find pretty much scattered anywhere in Gondor, just dotted around for extra detail to the environment. And I quite like it. It's a very nice, compact little structure that has a lot of detail in it. I quite like the oak and the walls coming up here, and of course there's a door here. It's quite small, but up here you can find, if they'll get out of the way, chests and a chest here, and of course these Gondorians. And honestly, it does give a nice little area to fire around with, because you can pop down here if you're getting shot at. come back up, shoot, come down, shoot. So it's a very nice turret indeed. Now the next structure here is called the Athelian hideout, or basically a ranger hideout. And the rangers, you can find them not in Gondor, but actually to the north, or I guess to the west more. Northwest, yeah, northwest. Near the Shire and in the Wildlands and Bree, and that sort of area, you can find these. And in here, you can also find the Ranger Captain, who you can hire these archers from, these Rangers. And there's also 2 full sets of Ranger armor here, as well as the Athelian banner. It looks very nice with that moon there. I really quite like that. And of course, chests galore in here. Well, actually not chests galore. There's just 2. I lied. And of course, a barracks here with actually quite a few, quite a lot of ale. And then of course, a Gondorian crafting table and a furnace, not an alloy forge, but a furnace and another normal crafting bench. So it's very nice to find. Kind of hard to find when you're, out in the wilds and it's surrounded by, grass. You're kind of walking around, you don't really see it unless you're like right on top of it. And they're like, oh, look at that. So kind of hard to find, but it is spottable. Now the next structure here is the run-of-the-mill Gondorian village house. Now this house, I really like the roof. The roof looks amazing. And of course, a nice little chimney in the back, and one of my favorite blocks of all time, the wattle and daub block. This block is amazing. I mean, just look at it. Look at how it forms and comes up. I mean, and then you put that there, and I mean, this, I really love this block. It is one of my favorite blocks in this mod. I use it for all the human builds because it looks amazing. And then inside here, you can find, of course, a nice little Gondorian stone floor. And again, crafting tables. There are a lot of crafting tables in all these builds. Chests, and of course, you got yourself some beds and a nice little dining table with, of course, a chimney with a roaring fire and even a furnace, so cook some food, which is very nice. Now the next structure here, it has a very flat roof. I don't quite like that, but the inside is exquisite. Okay, I mean, it's not exquisite as, it's not as grand as like that, but it's just so nice. I mean, you come in here and you're like, wow, I really feel like I should probably tell you guys what the name of this structure is. It's called Gondorian Cottage. And in here, you're like, oh man, this actually looks like cottage. The roof is nice and high. There's some, windows there, some beams for support. They actually look good. Some fence posts, some nice like straw thatch carpet and some beds here. I mean, this place looks amazing. I really enjoy it. And then, of course, the large chest there. And in the back even, there's a nice little garden with another one of my favorite blocks, these reed bars. Now, I haven't used these in a lot of my builds, but they look amazing. Absolutely amazing. And, of course, there's a scarecrow to scare away all the crows. Now, the next build, next structure up, is the Gondorian townhouse. Now this house you can find in the Gondorian town and the Gondorian fortress village. Now when you find this, you'll find a nice little porch here, a nice little wooden porch with flowers, of course, and these wonderful grand looking pillars and even grand chandeliers. Now inside you'll find a nice carpet, nice little black carpet there, and of course a nice roaring fire along with a clock, for crying out loud, a clock, and some chests, some crafting tables, of course the Gondorian banner, and oh my goodness, I just love this. I could stare at that all day. This window, I mean, it looks amazing. You have the wall coming right in the middle, and then of course these stair blocks right there. I mean, I don't know why, but I really enjoy this type of window. It looks amazing. I really enjoy those windows. And of course, some nice beds, actual nice beds, not thatch, but wool proper beds, and of course some more chandeliers. It looks amazing. Now the roof is made up of not thatch, but a black, I think it's called, black Gondorian brick. This brick can only be made using the Gondor brick combined with a Mordor brick. So you will have to go to Mordor if you want to make any of these bricks. Now, the next structure here is the Gondorian Tower. Now, in here, if I wasn't to do that, you have a nice little barracks here filled with all kinds of drinks. And then up here, you can find like a nice little, you can find some armor perhaps, and of course an armor stand, and a wonderful looking chest with some anvils, and even a nice little crafting area, and like a nice little kitchen. Well, I guess not really like a kitchen, but an area to eat food nonetheless. And up here, you can find some soldiers guarding the tower, of course. And I mean, this is just wonderful. Look at that. You can actually fire at your enemies. Isn't that wonderful? I think that's wonderful. And also up here, there is also a Gondorian banner to top it all off. And the whole build looks quite nice, quite tidy, and neat. Now, the next build is the stables, the Gondorian stables. Now, this build looks a little odd when you first look at it, because you got that cheer going on, and then you have a nice looking Regel sort of thing going on there. And it just looks kind of odd. It does. And then, of course, this looks even more odd. This thatch kind of wall thing here. I mean, I don't know why that's there. It looks kind of odd. I probably would have put some wood here or something, maybe some more fence posts, but that's not a fence post. I don't know what I'd do there, but I definitely wouldn't have put more thatch there. It looks kind of weird. But honestly, this whole build looks amazing. Once you come in here, it just looks wonderful. They had a nice little kitchen, crafting area. Upstairs, though, is a little rough. I mean, you're living with some straw, but you got a nice bed. Of course, a chest to put any items of desire there. Now, the next build is the Gondorian barn. Now, this barn looks wonderful. It's not like the Hobbit barn. The roof is a lot different, and also it uses fence for a gate instead of an actual gate. And of course, in here you can find some nice livestock, and up here you can even find a farmer who will trade, who you can hire farm hands for to get your own little farm started off. It also has a nice little living quarters up here, pretty nice. You can also take the hay and make yourself some nice bread, which is always very nice. Even some chandeliers, that's pretty good. Now, there's also a farm attached here with some farm hands, and of course gates for you to come in and harvest all of this wonderful radishes, and of course a scarecrow. You always need a scarecrow. Get rid of those pesky crows picking up your seeds. And the next build, the next structure, is a proper fortress. This is the Gondorian fortress, and this is what I think of when I hear the word fortress. It's majestic, it's detailed, it's big, it's thick. It's amazing. I mean, look at this. This is wonderful. Detail without having like some overhang like this where enemies can hide. No, this is proper. This is wonderful. I mean, this is a little weird. Once we get inside, you'll see why that isn't actually quite weird. And inside, it's amazing. They even have like gardens here. And I don't even know what this is. I guess, oh, that's what it is. A little beacon tower even up here. A nice little blacksmith area to repair armor, even a full armor of Gondorian, or a full Gondorian armor set. And in here you have the barracks, of course, with some drinks, empty drinks, I guess you could say. And then you have a nice little stairs coming up here to an area that you can actually shoot arrows from. Amazing. Unlike the Dunlendings, who you couldn't even do that with. These, I mean, this is how you do it. You can fire into the sunset here. And then also, you have these towers here, which you can come down. And in them, there really isn't much. Actually, there's like nothing in here. Maybe a few things like a dagger or two. But what this mainly is you can come up here and you can fire at your enemies or even get a pike and start hitting them. I mean, it's a pretty nice defensive position. Also some nice chandeliers too. And then, of course, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. It can come with any kind of wood. So it can come with oak, it can come with spruce, it can come with apple, peach, any kind of wood. And the next structure we'll be taking a look at is the Gondorian Tavern, the Ugly Steward. So inside here, now before I get started here, I would add a bit more detail to these, like maybe some stair blocks here, some stair blocks, maybe some fence posts. to spruce up the outside. But other than that, it's a very nice build. Inside here, you can find the bartender and trade with her. And then there's also some chests here that you can loot, and a nice roaring fire in the middle of this place to keep it nice and warm. And obviously someone's having an issue with the door. And then also some nice areas for you to sit down, relax, take a drink, take a load off, and come upstairs after that hard night's drinking. Stumble into bed here, which you can get, obviously. Very nice little bedrooms up here. There is nothing, however, in these chests. These chests are completely empty. However, it does come with a bed and a nice little drink here, obviously. Nice little housewarming gift. And also, the chimney extends up here, so they also get nice and warm, and a nice little carpet foyer, or whatever you want to call it, like a nice little meeting room, or I don't know, gathering room, I suppose you'd call it. And did I not type that in right? There we go. And then the next structure to take a look at is not that structure, but this one, the well, the Gondorian well, which you can find in the towns, in the fortresses, in the fortress villages, and villages. And it's a nice little well. I mean, you can come down here. There's nothing down here, but I mean, I guess if you want to put a secret base down there or something, you could. Although I really do like this build. It does look very nice indeed. A lot of detail. Well, I guess not a lot of detail, but I do like the shape of it. It's a very nice shape. And the next structure is the farm, the Gondorian farm, village farm. Now you'll have the farm hand and of course the scarecrow, and then any kind of, vegetable growing here, which is very nice indeed. So you can come around here and lots of food to be had, and of course a pasture, an animal pasture filled with quite a few animals. And I must admit, I do like this look of the walls, the fence, and the stone here. It looks quite nice. I do enjoy it a lot. And then of course a garden, a nice Gondorian garden where you can come and enjoy this. I mean, Gondorians are living well. I mean, look at this. They even have like trimmed hedges and whatnot. And then of course, with any major faction, you have your stalls. And these stalls come with all the best. You have a grocer, you have a lumberman, you have the stonemasons, you have a brewer, you have a florist, a butcher, a fishmonger, a farmer, a blacksmith, and even a baker. So very nice to find. These will spawn in the towns, the villages, and fortress villages. And then, of course, a signpost for those villages and whatnot. And then to one of my favorite builds, which is a completely useless build, but yet one of the best ones, I think, is the bathhouse. Now, when I say bathhouse, I mean like the Romans, grand, big bathhouses, kind of like a pool, I guess. And you can come in here and swim in here. I mean, look at these pillars. They look amazing. I really enjoy this build. It does bring any city together. It really does. Now, the next build or structure is an amazing one. It is the, I can't even remember the name. What is it called? A gatehouse. There we go. I don't know why I blinked out there, but this has some amazing detail too. I mean, look at that. That's amazing. I know it's just a little piece of wall there with a stair, but that just looks amazing. The more detail, the merrier, in my opinion. I mean, maybe not too messy, but I like my builds quite messy with a lot of detail thrown into them. And up here, you'll find the 2 guards manning this operation. And of course, I didn't know this actually for a little bit, but redstone activates these portcullises and gates. So you can open and close them, and open and close them, and it's wonderful. And also, you even have a nice little firing position right here. Actually, it's not that very nice, but a firing position nonetheless. It's a very protected firing position, which is quite nice. Now, up here, there really isn't anything, but again, a nice area for firing arrows at your enemies, which is always nice. Indeed. Now, the next structure is the lamppost, Gondorian lamppost, which you can find in the towns, light up the path. And of course, a garden and even a tree garden, which is very nice to see. More detail, the merrier. And even a bench. I mean, that's how nice these guys got it. They even have town benches. Now this here is the Gondorian village. So these, you'll find around Gondor, obviously. And you'll even find, let's see what we got here. We have a tavern, we have smithy, we have a house, we have stables, we have cottages, stalls, and even a well. So those are all very nice to find in here. Again, a lot of food to be had, a lot of loot. Precious, nice little loot that you can find there. But this, if any of you have seen my Gondorian Let's Play, I shack up in one of these places. This is a Gondorian town, and they are massive. I'm talking 20 plus houses, bathhouse, taverns galore, stalls galore, gardens literally on every street corner, with lamppost lighting everywhere. I mean, this place is decked out. This is a city. This is a flat out city with a gatehouse and, let me get a little closer. Beacons, towers, everything you could possibly imagine you could want is in here, along with tons, and I mean tons, of loot. And if you're a bad guy, this is a great place to level up some alignment, because you can just come in here and take out the town, and there's a lot of alignment to be had. Now, these structures over here are runes that you'll find along in Gondor. You have the Beacon Tower ruined, or I think that's just Beacon. Yeah, the Beacon ruined. You have a tower ruined, and actually in here you can find. Let me see here. You can actually find some, some things. Not the best, but you can find, chests filled with some stuff, and also some crafting benches. And the next one is the obelisk, the Gondorian obelisk, which also has Gondorian beacon on the top of it, and then also some Gondorian runes. Now, the reason why I really like these builds is because it adds a dash of detail to the environment, a dash of something interesting. It's not just bland trees and grass and stuff. There's also some runes to be had. Now, the next structure here is the fortress village, in which you have the main fortress, and then walls coming outside with 8 towers there, along with smithies and stables and wells and houses and farms and everything to make a good fortress village. And also, the gatehouse is a little on the small side, but honestly, I'm not complaining. It looks quite nice. And honestly, the walls, oh man, those are some nice looking walls. Nice, not too detailed, not over detailed, but just right. I mean, this is nice. I'm really relieved to see these structures because of how nice they looked. Now, there is one structure that I could not find a way to spawn in, but it is a structure that will spawn in the Gondor regions. Specific Gondor region, I forget. I think it's the Pelennor Fields. Yeah, Pelennor Fields is where this will spawn. But it is a massive wall. I believe it's like 10 blocks thick, way over 100 blocks wide, about 20 blocks high. I mean, it's a massive, massive wall. And it's curving too. It's not just straight. It's curving. And there is even like a gatehouse for it too. But for some reason, I just couldn't spawn in. Anyway, the next the next thing I have to show you guys are the sub factions for Gondor. Gondor has a lot of sub factions, 7 to be exact. They have the Dol Imroth, I forget all these names. The Lasararnash. I'm really butchering these names. I'm sorry about that. The Lebanonian, Pelargir, the Pinath, Gillen, Blackroot Vale. I know that one, and then the Lamadon sub-factions. And all of these factions have their own little quirk to it, I suppose you could say. Their own little special soldiers. And actually, come to think of it, I've forgotten what special soldiers they had. Yeah, I really forgot about that. I'll be right back, guys, once I have what kind of soldiers that they have that are special, because they do have some soldiers that are better than just the regular ordinary Gondorian soldiers. And so sometimes you kind of want to come in here and specify and get your like bowmen or your knights, I guess. I think these guys have the knights. I can't remember to be sure, but I'll be right back, guys, once I have that all. Alright, guys, so I figured it out which ones have which. So the Dothim Roth, yeah, have the Swan Knights, who are superior to just the normal Gondorian soldiers. And then the Lotr have Axemen. I did not know that, but they do have Axemen, which there aren't any other Gondorian Axemen. And then the, what is this one? Lebanon. The Lebanon ones have their Levymen, I think. Yeah, they have their, well, no, these guys don't have any special troops. Actually, yeah, they do have the Levymen, I do believe. The Lebanon Levymen. And then these guys have Marines. So, who, as you can see here, Trident. They protect the seas. So they do use tridents. These guys do not have any special troop. Actually, where's the Blackroot? I gotta find the Blackroot Vale. There they are, the Blackroot Vale. So these guys have Blackroot archers, or Blackroot bowmen, or yeah, I think it's just archers. And they are superior to all the other Gondorian archers due to their use of the Blackroot bow, that one right there, which is a lot better than any other Gondorian bow or just normal bow. It's a very good bow. Better speed, increased range, increased attack, just a lot better. So I know it's a long video, guys, long structure showcase, but the Gondorian faction is absolutely massive. And if you want to see more with the Gondorian faction and whatnot, I highly recommend you guys go see my Gondorian Let's Play. You know, I've got to do another Let's Play series coming up here. So, actually, I think once I'm done with this here, once I'm done with all of the structures, and once I'm done reworking the structures I don't like and trying to make maybe some new structures, or improving on the old ones to make them look a lot better, maybe I'll do another Let's Play series. I don't know, I'll have to see. Would be a lot of fun, I gotta admit. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please be sure to hit that like button so that I know that you did like it. And as always, I'm Tuco. God bless, and I'll see you next time.